And I know everybody's very, very fucking observant about this, especially the haters. This Svedka, this is my friend Dina's Fireball. I do not drink Fireball whatsoever. Dina loves it. This Svedka, if you've noticed, has not changed since Friday. Because right now, alcohol is not going to help me whatsoever. Alcohol does nothing but fuck up my life worse. And it makes me sick. I drank that milk really fast. And then I took all my medicine. Here's the problem. I feel like I got to get sick, but I absolutely cannot. I've got to hold it down 100%. Because if not, I'm going to have to go back through and take all the medicines again. Fucking story of my life, dude. I wish I were being dramatic about this. I cannot hold down shit. Man, that's another thing. That was where I was even getting on this subject. I have a plan. And my other plan is, on Tuesday, I'm going to call my doctor and say, just sign me up for the fucking scope. I'm tired of it. Let's just get this ball rolling and go in there, figure out what the fuck is wrong with me. I got a feeling I don't think it's ulcers, because if it was ulcers, you know, as much as I did drink, I feel like they would have been bleeding by now. I would know I would be hunched over in pain. And I think it could be gastritis, it could be diverticulitis, or it could be my pouch that needs to be stretched out. And I kind of hope it's my pouch that needs to be stretched out. So I'm going to ask him if I could do that anyways, because I know a lot of times, like people who have trouble eating and stuff, they can go back in there, stretch your stomach out, and you're able to eat a little bit more. And I think it's one of those things. I don't think it's ulcers or anything like that, or polyps or fucking hernia, anything like that. It's definitely, and the reason I think it could be my pouch and probably needs to get stretched out is because even when I do eat, I can't eat very much, and that's probably what it is. So yeah, I'm just going to get it done and over with. Figure that out. Alright, you guys, I've been bitching about it for too long. You guys are tired of hearing me bitch about it. I'm absolutely tired of hearing myself bitch about it. I'm getting on my own nerves with it. So I'm just going to call Tuesday and say, just get me in for a scope as soon as possible. I need answers. And then once I get answers, then I can fix whatever the damn problem is, you know? Be done with this shit. Because I'm telling you what, I've lost way too much weight. I know. I hear it all the time. I hear it every day, probably. If it's not online, it's someone in real life saying you need to stop. Like I have a choice. Like I want to just stop. You know? I want that, of course. You know, it's ruining my fucking teeth and everything else. Getting sick all the time, you know? Not being able to hold down the nutrient. And that's why I want my smile back. I can't even smile like I used to because I got a missing fucking front tooth. You know what I mean? And I'm a scaredy cat to go to the dentist. The thing about this is, they want to put another crown in there. I don't want a crown. My gums do not like the root canals. Okay, I've had 2. And both of those crowns are not on those teeth. For some reason, you know, the root canal, I do that, and then they put the crown on there, and my gum swells up, and it hurts and hurts and hurts until finally it, like, ejects the fucking crown. And, the last one was a little bit better, but I swear, how many times have I went and messed with that fucking tooth, you guys? That's another thing, and veneers are cosmetic. Even to get one right there is going to cost me like $1,000. And right now I don't have it. If it was any other, it has to be done. So I can smile. I'm constantly doing this. Look like white trash. And I don't need any help doing that. We all know this. I just have very strong, great teeth, and then this is just these having problems. Almost everybody that I know who has had gastric bypass, not so much the sleeve, because the sleeve you can gain your weight back and shit like that. The sleeve's a fucking joke. No, it works if you work it, but gastric bypass, that's the full enchilada. There's no turning back once you have that done, and you are stuck with the consequences of everything, right? And one of those side effects are you're malnourished and you can't hold down. That's why I drink so much milk, trying to keep my teeth good, because I cannot get enough calcium to save my life. I do take calcium chews, and believe it or not, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Tums is a great source of calcium, and they're delicious. So I eat a lot of Tums too, but I'm constantly drinking milk because my fucking teeth is terrible. Problem is I puke a lot because I'm constantly sick, and that's not good on my teeth either. I'm just not going down the crown. Honestly, it hurts my fucking gum so bad, I'll just be ruthless and toothless. I'm not letting them put a crown in there again to get rejected. Yeah, dentists are expensive everywhere. In America, here, it's very expensive. And insurance doesn't want to cover dental work. They just don't. Dental insurance, if you got it, good for you, and it's probably not that good. Dentists make their fucking money, believe it. Being fat isn't the worst thing you can be in the world. There was nothing wrong with me at all. I was just fat. What's his face that sent a fucking request for money and said, you need a cheeseburger, why aren't you eating? And then I got another one that said, talking about my weight again.
Who?
Terrell me sucks.
I don't know.
The same way, I think it's Jakey Poo. I think it's Jakey Poo's other account.
That dude is a fucking moron, complete moron. He was streaming about me again earlier. I don't understand it. I have nothing to say about him. I have nothing to say. It's just a moron. And I don't know. I look at him as just a clout chaser at this point. That's it. Really, that's all I can say about it. He's like, I'm gonna reach out to MFW and get him to not do a stream with CJ. I'm like, all right, go ahead. I don't give a fuck.
It's weird. I don't get it, but I just want to say I'm doing the best that I can, people. I'm stressed the fuck out. I'm not spending money on food. I'm spending it on bills.
Jesus. Yeah, I know. Look, I know people think that you fucking like aren't telling the truth, but you are going through it. You have a lot going on. You know what I mean?
But I just want to say once again, I'm not on fucking drugs. I hate that. No, I'm not on my deathbed or anything like that. I mean, I am sick, but I'm getting better. You know, and I am trying to gain weight. I'm actively trying to gain weight, people. So I just want to, and I don't want to ever address that again because it's very sensitive. So I just want to say, yeah, it was fun in the beginning when people were like, oh, you lost so much weight. You look good. You look skinny. Da, da, da. And I loved it. I ate it up. And now the comments have turned into, you look too skinny, or I can see all your bones, or, you know, something like that. And that's,
oh my God! Now I get it. Bro, I just saw a comment the other day saying like they were saying that you look like Eugenia Cooney. I was just like, holy shit! I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Now I understand this. Now I understand. That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, it is. I don't have any eating disorder. I get sick because I can't hold down food. It's not because I want to get sick. It's because literally my stomach, my surgery, and people turn that into I have an eating disorder. I do not. It's literally I get
surgery. Yeah, you got surgery. It's what it is. You know? So what's up? How are you doing today? What's new?
I'm hiding behind a screen because I got 2 teeth pulled and my face is absolutely swollen.
Jeez, I know you posted about that. I wasn't sure if that was new or not, but damn, that looked brutal.
Yeah, so I let those wisdom teeth cut in about a year ago, and I was bitching the whole damn time. But there was one that just like really, like since day one has bothered me.
Yeah.
And I finally got it yanked. I got them both yanked, and then I got my top tooth prepped because I don't know if you know this. On Memorial Day, I broke my tooth.
No, you didn't tell me. No.
Yeah, well, that's why I haven't like smiled or anything. I've been like trying to hide it, but
I had no clue. Oh man, that's rough.
There's no difference once my teeth are all there. Here's a little background in case you wanted to know.
Okay.
My real mom was a bad alcoholic, and she had already had her kids. She had me at like 38 years old, 39. My dad was only like 23, 24. And so my mom just didn't want another kid. I was a mistake baby. So she, the day that we got out, like gave my dad the pumpkin seat. My dad had a Harley at the time and was like, this is your problem, not mine, as they were getting out of the hospital. My dad has had custody of me since I was a kid, right? So he went through a lot of different girlfriends in the beginning. And even when him and Lana first got hooked up when I was like 4 or 5, he still had many girlfriends for years, but she stuck around. They ended up getting married and they fucked around on each other and shit. So it would like, they come and go. But Lana's been in my life since I was 4 years old. And she was only, okay, so I'm 35. She's only 18 years older than me because, no, she's 14 years older than me. I don't know, she's 53 years old. So like growing up, it was kind of like we grew up together because I lost 2 brothers and sisters with her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I lost 2 younger brothers and sisters. She's never had a kid of her own. So when she went through like her terrible 20s and then her wild 30s, I like kind of had to tag along with her because one, my dad had custody of me. And, you know, I never really went to my mom's, but my dad was also a bad alcoholic and a player and shit. And he'd disappear for like days. And Lana would be stuck watching me and I'm not even her kid. So we got real fucking close, really close during that time.
Shit. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about that. We talked about that online before or no?
Sometimes, yeah, I talk about it. It's just some people know, some people don't know, and it's just one of those things. That's why I'm kind of like rough and all that, and like we talk to each other like shit because we grew up, like we all grew up together. I forced my dad to grow up, and Lana was just, my dad started a moving company, and she was working at White Castle and lived at her parents' house and never had like a real job before, and asked my dad for a job, so my dad hired her. My mom's actually never lived on her own ever before in her life. She moved out of her parents' house and then moved in with my dad and has lived with my dad since she was 18 years old. Even though like they fucked around on each other, like they cheated on each other. And back in the day, my dad was a bad alcoholic, like bad, like whiskey drinking, fucking beer drinking. And he would beat the hell out of her. And she actually stabbed him a few times. Like I grew up with violence and chaos and shit.
Brutal. Yeah.
Who? Toodles?
No, brutal. I said brutal.
Oh, I thought you said Toodles. I was like, hey. Yeah, my fucking childhood was wild and crazy. My dad was part of a club, a certain club, a biker club. So I grew up around all that shit. Nothing fucking surprises me.
Yeah, same. You sound like you've been through some shit. Damn. Fuck.
So anytime you ask one of my parents, you down to fight? Even my dad with his fucking legs of shit and a fucking pacemaker, he's like, let's go. Like that is one thing with my family. Like if they're rowdy, always have been. Lana always has been. Like she would go up to the school when they suspend me and try to fight my fucking principal and shit. Seriously, we've been kicked out of so many fucking places as a family. Like Ponderosa was just one that happened live. We've been kicked out of many places for being fucking. I mean, you can say whatever you want. We're trash. We're poor white trash. But we try to make it. We're good people at heart, but we're passionate people too. That's the thing that gets us in trouble. That is it.